Ah. Okay, so thank you very much, all of you, for coming. We really appreciate it. And like I've just been saying, this might become a more personal service. So if you've got any questions or anything, just relax, enjoy it. We're here, it's Thursday afternoon at LT, so we're happy to give you this information. And thanks for coming again, because I know you've been to our stand already, so good to see you. So, you may have seen it was originally billed with Gail Charlton, or you may not. She couldn't make it, unfortunately. One of our other customers has been joining us on the stand today. It's Paul Harrington, and he's stepped in to tell us all about how Nimble's used in the workplace, and how he's used it and why he's chosen Nimble. So he'll be coming on shortly. But the plan is today just explain a little bit as to who we are, really give you a demonstration, and if there's anything specifically you want to see, then do let us know. But give you a demonstration, show you how it's been used, and Paul to provide an example of how he's been using it and why he's chosen it, and then answer all of the questions that you've been building up throughout the next 20 minutes. So without further ado, we have the founder, Neil Hyde, creator of Nimble Author.
Thank you.
And over to you.
Well, good afternoon. It's towards the end of a long day, or a couple of days of searching around. Thank you very much for joining us on the stand. We'll hope to keep this short and maybe entertaining. Hopefully there's something here that is of interest. I guess by show of hands, and there'll be a few hands coming up maybe, who here have got experience of using authoring tools in the past? Quite a few. And of those, have you been using, who's used Articulate and Captivate, the main two? Okay. Well, there's some. You've been around the show. There's some great new authoring tools cropping up that work very well in lots of different environments. And I guess the question is, why have we gone and built yet another authoring tool? Well, we built it because I've had 20 years of experience in computer-based training, and mainly in bespoke e-learning for large companies, Jaguar Land Rover and the like. And I saw there's a real opportunity for producing something that is incredibly easy to use, that allows instructional designers or really subject matter experts. It provides a framework to allow you to very rapidly turn your great content and subject matter into e-learning. And it provides a framework to help you do that, and to help you stay on track. And really it's about the speed. It's about speed from getting from a concept through to a finished course. And not only do we have not only do we want to produce a system that did that fast, but we also wanted to tick all the relevant boxes that you might need, all the technical boxes and stuff. And I'm going to pass over to Alex now, who's going to just go through some of that sort of housekeeping.
Yeah, so I work in the marketing side. I speak to a lot of prospective customers and our existing customers. I've got the great responses. One of my favourites in particular is, "It's so easy, even I can use it, and I'm old and bold." He actually said, "I'm old, fat and bold," but I have omitted that for his dignity. That was Richard Baines from DFDS Seaways. He's on our website. Now, what we wanted to just go through is, when people are considering authoring tools, there's normally sort of a hygiene checklist that they want to just check off to make sure that it covers the basics before considering what we do. So that you could relax and just enjoy the demonstration, I just wanted to run through and put your mind at ease that we do run on iPad. It's HTML5 compatible. It supports old and new browsers. We go back to IE7, so it covers pretty much everybody. As long as you've got access, or your learners have access to the internet, then you'll be able to access Nimble Author. It's a collaborative, cloud-based platform, so you can work together, you work in different locations, you can write different notes to each other through our post-it note facility, which we're going to show you. But it's a really big benefit that you can access it wherever you are, don't need to download anything, and everybody can join you in creating your courses. Importantly, it's SCORM 1.2 and 2004 compliant. Pretty much 90% of the LMSs are. So if you want to use Nimble Author and export it into your LMS, then there shouldn't be a problem. We also have an integrated LMS ourselves called Nimble LMS, but that's optional. So, Neil.
Yeah, we're going to launch straight into a demo. If you've been to our stand already, and we've had a lot of activity you'll have seen at the stand today, it's been great. You'll have seen this process, but we're going to whip through it super fast now so you can see how it works as a tool. So at this point here, you'll have clicked on Start a New Course, and you get presented with this screen here. And this screen really is designed to fit perfectly on iPads and Android devices and gives you the framework for working within. Now, the first thing that you do here with our system is you build the course structure. So you rapidly add in the topics and build up your structure down the left-hand side. It's really designed to enable you to rapidly prototype your courses and to ensure that the structure is exactly how you want it. And so Alex is adding a few topics in there now. The next thing you do is you click on the each topic in turn and choose from one of our flexible templates and add your pages. So we provide a range of templates, all the staple templates that you might want to create an engaging course, from multiple choice and drag and drop to text input exercises. And you build up the structure like this. Now, if you change your mind about where you want to put things, you can drag things around really easily. So again, you can very quickly construct the shape of your course. The other thing you can do is you can duplicate your pages. Again, it's really good for templating. We're trying to streamline the process from end to end, from the concept of your idea all the way through to getting the course completed. And you can do that by using the right people at the right time to, say, subject matter experts to put the content into the system, followed by an instructional designer that can make sense of the material, through to maybe an illustrator or someone who's really good with the visuals that can finish it off afterwards. So the other things to note here is we've got an assessment. It's randomized. It also does a pooling, so you can actually make sure you ask the right number of questions for each of the topics, for instance. And you pick from the same range of templates here as well. Again, it's just as quick there. Now we can go over to some of the other... and the other new feature we've added, actually, we're really pleased with, is our survey feature. So it's really good to capture information about how people think your courses are, how effective they are. But it could also be used for capturing additional information, so what their thoughts are on a particular subject matter, and that all can be stored into your learning management system. So on the right-hand side now as well, we have the fun stuff. We have the themes and things. Alex has already gone in there. I can see has changed the logo up the top, and we can change the color scheme as well. Now, what we do is we try and take the technology out of the equation so you can really focus on building good, effective courses. And we do that by, when you put an image in, we will scale it, compress it, do all the things you need to make it very straightforward. Same with images. We give you a royalty-free image library and backgrounds and things. You'll probably use your own. You'll have your own brand guidelines. Want to create your own style course. So you upload your image. It'll compress it, shape it, and do the very best it can do in the area. So you don't need those sort of Photoshop skills and stuff that conventionally people might have to have. So immediately, there we go. We've got a very, a really branded course that looks just like your company brand, and you can create your own house style. The idea with Nimble is that we just hide behind the scenes. We don't know, of all our customers, nobody really knows it's Nimble behind the scenes. It really looks like their courses. So other useful things here are things like the links to useful resources. We've got glossary of terms, and we've got an about us, or you can use it for a copyright statement or something that goes in there. That's it. You've built your structure. You can revisit that at any time by clicking on the edit button, and now you can click on each page in turn and go in and follow the same process. You click on the edit button at the bottom, and you'll see there we've got integral instructions throughout, so it really helps you through the process. You don't have to learn anything. The idea is that you can sit down within 5 minutes, just get straight on and start building your courses. So Alex has added an image through our royalty-free image library, and he's resized it and positioned it. You can edit the text as well, just as easily. You can copy and paste from your PowerPoints, your Word documents. You can also, there's some useful features up there, so you can have hypertext if you want. You can have pop-up text and all sorts of things there. That's our first page done. We can add a background to add some depth and richness to the page. It's an opportunity to really brand your courses as well. You can also add audio on the timeline as well. So that's page one. It's as quick as that. On to the next page. This one, Alex has picked a drag and drop. That's in action. So you get their choices, and then after you've got that, you give them the feedback, and it edits in exactly the same way. You can add more options, you can change the options, you can select multiple answers and things, and really race through it in that way. That's about as complicated as it really gets in the system, and it's not really that complicated. So there it is in action. So there's now there's all sorts of other assets we can do. If we remove this from the page, we can now show you the plus button. And what we do as well is we try and promote best practice. So from an instructional point of view, so instead of just giving you access to everything, if you've already put an interaction onto the page, we then remove a number of other interactions that really aren't best to use with that. So again, you're not overwhelmed by all your choices. Alex is going to put on a video clip here, and this is a video where you can embed your own videos, but you can also link very easily to YouTube and Vimeo, and you could set up maybe a private Vimeo channel. That's what most of our customers do, I guess, and there we go. It really is as simple as that. Now, really, I could go on. There's a lot I could say about our software here. It's very powerful, it's very fast. But one thing we're really keen on is, and I guess one of the keys to our success at the moment is, from our website, you can log straight into our website, create an account, and start using this system. You can spend as long as you want, and I mean it's totally unlimited, to ensure that it's the right product for you, that does the right things. And really, that's what it's all about. It's giving you time to get comfortable and make sure that it's a good fit. Now, one thing Alex has highlighted here, because I almost forgot, was the post-it note facility, and that's a really useful tool for just communicating to other authors. It's not seen by students, but you can communicate with other authors to make sure that they don't miss things. Maybe, you know, some legislation's changing down the line or something. Or it could be used for reviewing. You could have a subject matter expert going back in and making sure that all the key points are covered and things. So it's a really useful but very simple tool. And actually, it's one of the things as well that if you export your course to Word for reviewing and things, then it'll show up. So it really helps you to again, streamline that process of authoring your courses from end to end. And that's it. Really, it's a very straightforward product, and we just suggest you get on there and play, because it might be right for your requirements. And that's it.
There's when you that's the authoring side of things. If you wanted to, like I say, there's an optional integrated LMS. You can totally export that authoring tool into your own LMS. But if you wanted to, there's the Nimble LMS, which is ready to go. It's just as easy to use as Nimble Author. You will personalize it, brand it for you. It's got some great reporting and analytics. And importantly, it's got certification for those that are passing your assessments, still all personalized and branded with your company or organization. And if you are, say, in a training company looking to sell your courses, then there's an e-commerce facility as well, so we can help you sell them seamlessly online. So, without further ado, we wanted to just highlight these as a whole range of customers that use Nimble Author across the board. There's sort of 3 tiers, aren't there, Neil?
There are. I mean, it's used by a number of customers, really, and it's quite exciting to see sort of all the different requirements. But generally, they fall into 3 main bands. It works very well for the corporate, say Laura Ashley, that have got 5,000 staff. They've got 2 trainers across 5,000 staff, so they want to. They need to be able to get messages out very fast, so that's the corporate sector, so training in-house. You've also got very small companies, one-man bands that come up with a great idea and want to be able to rapidly produce their course and get it out to sale. And then you've also got the commercial authoring companies as well that want a much more rapid way to be able to build courses, or more cost-effectively build courses for their customers. So really, those are the main areas that we've got. So a couple of examples here is we've got some screenshots here from an Australian customer who's the biggest financial software company in Australia, and they are delivering training to 1 million businesses on their software. So this is really just a quick example of how they've then turned it into really their own training.
Yeah. And now, we thought we'd invite Paul Harrington to join us as a user of Nimble. I'll let you introduce yourself, Paul, and maybe you could say how you first got started with us.
Okay, so I've got the old technology. Seems like it's working. Afternoon, my name's Paul Harrington. I'm a learning and development consultant. You'll be delighted to know. I work partly on e-learning and with these guys on some e-learning projects. Been on the live online learning side as well. But what Neil's asked me to do is to turn back time a little bit. Our working relationship started a couple of years ago when I was a learning development director for a big paper company, 20,000 people across the world. We had nothing in terms of e-learning. We needed to find a solution. Guess fairly familiar story, had very little budget. I had tried buying in courses and had some very uncomfortable and very expensive experiences with buying in courses. Had no HR budget or no HR resources to make courses ourselves within the HR team. So the only way we had a chance of getting some decent e-learning courses was to use our content experts, use our subject matter experts to do that. And I guess the rest, as you can guess, is history. We had a look at Nimble and we implemented that and it's been going extremely well ever since. So 2 reasons really, just because it was so easy to use and cost effective. I think all the other selling points I won't dwell on. I think, as Neil says, if you just go in and try it yourself, I mean, that was enough for me, and that was enough for most of the people that I worked with. But based on how easy it was to use and the cost efficiency in rolling out something on a large scale were the 2 key things for me. I think then since then, Neil asked me back as a customer last year to come and help out on the stand. And asked me to come back again this year. And you can see now I'm totally nimbleized. But what I'd like to focus on again is those experiences, especially with subject matter experts. And the key is here. The tool is not the issue anymore with tools like Nimble. It's how then, if you've got content experts that are out there, how do you really get them bought into this? And how do you make most of that possibility and get it used and applied so you can get the value from it? So just to share at least one story, this is Carsten. He's a product manager who lives in Germany. He was one of the first subject matter experts I worked with. Typical product manager in many ways. He used to travel all around the world delivering training on his range of projects using PowerPoint, good old PowerPoint. And he was the first person I convinced to say, come on, all that time and effort you're putting in just to creating more and more PowerPoint slides. If anything, this is easier to use than PowerPoint. So why don't you try spending some of your time and give this a try? And he did, and pleased to say he's still at it. A couple of things, sorry, you can stay back. You can see him up there playing the guitar. One of the things I said to Carsten was, it'd be great to have a welcome video. When people open the course, they know it's your product range. Why don't we make a welcome video? So he said, yeah, okay, I'll do that. He came back the next day. He said, right, I've done that. And he'd done it, good old high-tech fashion. His wife with her iPhone in his front room, and he'd made a video, him playing the guitar. It was brilliant. And not only was it entertaining, but the product he was talking about and that was in the e-learning course was an adhesive product, and he actually demonstrated this adhesive product by how he was sticking the picks onto his guitar. So it wasn't just an entertainment thing. He used that to start getting some of the learning costs as well. And immediately, when people opened up, they could see him there. Oh, it's Carsten, great, he's playing the guitar, and they were engaged. I must admit, there were times from the HR side where I thought, I've got to rein this guy in a little bit. Where is he going with this? There was one time where he said he was doing quite a lot of live online webinars for the salespeople as well, product training. And he said, I want to put Nimble up and my course up in the live online webinar. And I said, no, that's wrong, Carsten. You don't get it. You see, this is e-learning. This is self-study. People are supposed to do that on their own in their offices or whatever else. If you're live online, that's totally different. You don't understand. Trust me, I'm from HR. And he said, no, I'm going to try it. And it worked brilliantly. He sent the link out beforehand so people could have a little go. But he brought up the course into the live virtual classroom, and a group of them went through it collaboratively. They went through the scenarios, they went through the questions, they went through the issues, they argued their cases, and they went through it together. So there's something here, despite kind of the urge to rein people in and kind of control what they're doing, is just to cut them a bit of a slack, let them loose on the tool, and see how creative they can be. The end result, okay, was it the most instructionally sound course ever created? Yeah, well, I guess not. But, this guy had been running training for years, without any assistance or any interference with HR or anybody else. And this actually forced him to rethink how he was training people, forced him to think, how am I going to make this interactive? So it kind of brought him on from there as well. So I would say that this is the key. You've got to figure out then how you're going to help these people. Yes, okay, of course you need to be involved. You need to support them. But cut them a bit of slack as well so they could be creative. One other practical tip, some of the best courses in the time I was looking after this project were made with the help of summer students as well. Putting these courses together does take time. That's the critical issue very often. And we had some stunning results by bringing in 6-month interns and focusing them on that topic. and really breaking the back of that course creation. So one place to look, if you know, this is great, well, I've got the tool, I've got Nimble, I've got the content, I need resources, who's got the time to put it together? That's been a very successful solution in this case. Cool. So give it a go. I think then the last one, this is my kind of ambition for next year, or this year, which is taking it one step further forwards, is instead of giving Nimble to the content experts, instead of giving Nimble to the trainers, why don't we give Nimble to the learners? And say, okay, you've been through this learning program, tell us and explain to us and present what you've learned by putting it into an e-learning course. Because again, it's so easy, they don't need to worry about spending time learning how to use the tool. They can immediately start to summarize and put together their learning points. And it's the old adage, best way to learn is to teach somebody else. So it's putting that into practice using tools like this. And then A, it'll certainly help the learning process. B, you may have some really good content there, by the way, that you could then use and pass on and help others to learn as well. So that's my kind of target, is actually to not just let loose the subject matter experts, but also to let loose some learners on this as well, and see if you can help the whole learning process from that point of view. So maybe Neil will invite me back next year to let me know how it goes. But, okay, I think we're just about out of time. Apart from
we just picked up our new advertising strapline of "Nimble lets you loose" or something like that.
Yeah,
I like it.
Something like that.
Okay, thank you very much, Paul.
And just on that last point, where that sort of flipped learning approach has become really interesting is actually we've got a lot of schools now taking us up on our product, and to get students to actually produce these sort of courses for their teachers is something that's really happening in a big way in a number of schools. It's a great way to help them learn those subject matter in the same way as Paul said there. So it's a really interesting area, and thank you very much for joining us on the stand this year. That really is about it. We produced something a little bit different, something that's just very, very, very easy to use. I need another very somewhere, but it's a really easy to use tool. It might be right for you, and the only way to find out really is to go to the website and have a play. Take as long as you like. If you've got questions, then just give us a call and we'll be able to answer them for you. Or better yet, come over to our stand and say hello if you haven't already. So really, that's it, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.